Yeah, that was kind of the point.
Okay.
I was mixing metaphors there.
Ah. I don't think I've heard the second one.
Uh, people loose lip sync ships.
Oh, no. I haven't heard that one.
Never heard that. Wow.
No.
Shout outs to Playboy Mike and sMi Dirty Bird, two competing teams there. But it looks like we're going to be getting this started. We've hosted the right map this time. This is not Derelict Watcher. I knew that looked odd for some reason.
Yeah. Apparently, is that Dirty Bird saying that Enrique is 35?
Mm,
Or Ray is 35?
maybe.
I don't
I
know.
believe it's going to be Ray, because
Yeah,
why
sorry.
would he know about someone else's team? But either way, yeah, somebody is 35. Wow. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of 35-year-olds in the world, but I just didn't expect to have one in a competitive StarCraft 2 event. I thought, like, after 12, you were too old to play.
Hmm. 12. That's when you hit like your hands start getting arthritis and you're just like crippled for the rest of your life basically. Oh,
At what, 15?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, back to our house of mirrors, because here on the bottom left-hand side of Ladder Edition Red City, we have playing for Team sMi. It's Mr. Ray Ray. And here on the top left-hand side, playing for the opposing team, it is the latest, the greatest. I'm not even sure how to say that. Heinrich Henrique. I mean, is that like a Spanish version of a German name? I'm not sure, but he's Henry.
I think it's got to be Enrique, right? Like a Spanish name.
Well, Henrique would have an E
No, it's
and R, like
Enrique.
like
Enrique.
like Enrique Iglesias. That's not got an H.
Oh well, you can. It's a silent H, clearly.
Yeah, but for H's they use J's in Spanish.
True.
So I'm not sure, guys. As far as I'm concerned, he is Henry. So that's what we're going with for now. Anyways, two gases coming out of our good friend Henry, and only one gas actually coming out for Ray. So this could mean a couple of different
Oh,
things. This is not definitive. It's a later gas.
right.
It's normal to see them get the second gas, but he delayed that, and he's only got 2 workers on his other gas. So he's got something in mind. I would suspect a fast Nexus, or maybe that's more of a hope. But it could also be some early gateway aggression. We've got the Cyber Core coming along. We'll have a Mothership Core coming after that. Bear in mind, guys, Mothership Cores cost 2 probes. If you don't believe me, double check the Nexus. A Nexus takes 17 seconds to warp in a probe. It takes 30 seconds to warp in a Mothership Core. And while you're building a Mothership Core, guess what you can't build?
Probes.
Indeed, sir. So we'll see who gets the earliest Mothership Core. These Cyber Cores are timed out perfectly, but again, Mothership Core equals aggression because it fucks your economy.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see. It looks like we're going to be seeing Ray go for some aggression there with that second gateway, so we'll see if he goes for that Mothership Core as well. He does have enough gas to do that, so potentially going to be seeing that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting because he's been chronoing out probes this whole time, right? But now he's not making any probes at all. So not only do I have to say that, you know, those were some bad chronos, they were really sloppy as well, because now he's not got chrono for anything else and still not utilizing probe production. Here we go. Here's the Mothership Core, so he's waiting for that gas. Just bad timings here right now for Ray.
I think he might be a little bit supply block now as well.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy. Now we do have a much quicker expansion here for Henry, who has only just now begun his Mothership Core as his opponent's is finishing. And if you want to double check me, check out the Workers Guild. or not workers killed, wow. The workers held by both players. We have Henrique with a 4 probe lead already.
Mm-hmm. And
And there hasn't
actually,
even been an engagement.
we're seeing a Stargate come out now for Ray. He's starting to push out across the map with his Stalker, Mothership Core, and I believe a second Stalker. He was supply blocked, so he won't have that third Stalker he wanted, but still going to be a little bit annoying.
Indeed, sir. And we also have a proxy pylon down.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to retreat to this and just really put on that pressure. Because, you know, he cannot let this Nexus go up. He has no intention of building his own Nexus for quite some time.
Right.
I'll be surprised to see him take a Nexus before 9 minutes. Because think about it. If you are on Gateway production with a Stargate, he only has 2 gates and a Stargate. He's making oracles. How do you hold your own natural? You don't. Quite simply, you have to kill your opponent's natural, and he's doing a pretty darn good job of it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Henry just waiting for enough energy to throw down the floating overcharge, and then he will be able to hold. But actually, looks like he'll be able to just push down the ramp with 2 Stalker warp in.
By the way, bro, apparently people are saying your screen needs to be switched.
Yeah, sorry. Shoot. There we go. That should be better. Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, guys. But now we are in.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, hopefully the casting was so good you could get a visual image. Either way, we have Henry going ahead, trying to take the high ground on that ramp, not able to take it. He's actually got sentries up front taking shots from Stalkers. Muy no bueno, muy no bueno. Okay, so here we go. We've actually got a photon overcharge going down on that Nexus. That is a great unit to have in this engagement because if your Nexus isn't shooting, you're probably going to die, especially when there are 5 Stalkers and a Mothership Core against, well, it was only 2 Stalkers and a couple of sentries, but now we've got an Immortal and another round of Gateways warped in. That Oracle just going down. Really nice play. It got a huge amount of kills. Just take a look at that workers killed count. 15 workers killed. 15 workers killed by sMi Ray.
Oh, but the Nexus. Oh, it is going to go down there. The Stalker is barely sniping it off.
So you remember that conversation we were having about Henry not being able to hold his own, or about Henry taking an earlier Nexus, Ray not being able to hold one?
Right.
Yeah, Ray can now hold one. He has done so much damage. He's got a probe lead. Now he's a base up. Really, the perfect playstyle for Ray from this point on is defense. He has such an advantage, both tech, because Immortals don't shoot up.
Right.
What? He has a base up, and he has a probe lead. There is no reason for him to continue attacking, so I just want to see him back up and play solid. Now, guys, there is a delay, so I'm just apologizing real quick, because even though we've fixed everything in the chat, it's not switched over yet. It looks like it's switching over now, maybe. No, it's a black screen, even though the overlays are there. Here we go. There we go.
Yep.
All right, cool. And there we go. Proxy pylon going down. We've got a nice ramp hold here with the Void Ray Stalkers. Looks like we only missed about 7 minutes of that game.
Well, we're getting to the important part now, as we are seeing Henry has a little bit of a timing here to potentially take out this Nexus. As long as he can, you know, not get destroyed by this photon overcharge, basically. Oh, and there's not even going to be enough energy for it either. So definitely does have a chance to do something here.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. So we've got the Immortal really doing some damage to that Zealot. That Zealot has a Crimson Shin right now. Just totally fucked up.
Only got 8 HP left. And here we go. Here comes the engagement. Immortals are targeting down the Zealots, actually. Making sure the Stalkers are hitting the Void Ray, basically, is what he's doing right now. I think it might be enough.
Goes down, Void Ray goes down. That's a lot of damage. There was not very much defense here by Ray. However, I mean, Henrique can do a lot of damage, but he's going to have to do even more in order to... Well, there we go. GG. Wow. So that was a real back and forth game. I want to recap that just a little bit as we do go through the the admin section. Basically, what happened there is what happens in most mirror matches. Let's define a mirror match because there are some elements to it that I don't think most players are. I mean, of course, they're aware of it, but they don't consider it quite as deeply as they should. In a mirror match, you have exactly the same production as your opponent. You're not balancing injects versus chrono boost versus mules. It's chrono versus chrono. Same gateway, same proxy gate, same Stargate, same Colossi. You are literally exactly the same as your opponent. So there's a lot of back and forth simply because one person will overextend themselves, push a little bit too far, reinforcement advantage kicks in, and then it pushes back. It's like, you ever play with a 3-year-old on a seesaw? That's exactly what a mirror match is.
That's an interesting analogy. But what do you think Ray could have done differently to have held off that attack? Like, do you think he could have done something after he took out the Nexus?
He did not have enough defense. Remember I said all he needs to do is take up a defensive posture. That includes cannons. That includes an extra couple of gateways. He had 15 workers killed. His opponent did not have a second base. That is the time you reinforce your defenses.
Well, yeah. But I mean, he tried kind of. He made a couple of void rays.
He made extra units out of buildings he already had.
Right.
He needed more production or cannons.
Okay.
Because a defensive posture is a comparison to your previous posture. Previously, he had the same number of production as he had in a defensive posture. So if you realize you're winning an engagement and you've just crushed your opponent's main and natural like he just did, because he ruined the probe count and then took out the Nexus, you throw in a couple extra gateways. You need a meat shield because you have, you know, all this Stargate production, but there's nothing that's going to speed up that Stargate production. Chrono, yes, but you only get so many of those.
Right.
You make some more gateways or cannons, something that's going to tank for this high-tech composition you're going for. Indeed.
He did try to warp in some zealots to tank, and the Immortals.
He did, but you can't do that on 2 gateways.
Right. Okay. I see your point.
Okay, so we actually have a 2-0 lead right now for Ray against the latest and greatest, who maybe are showing that they're not the greatest right now, but they could just be fielding players with a lower experience level, giving them some time in the limelight, getting them prepped up. You never know. These guys could be that confident. You know, I've seen teams that were willing to go 3-0 before they put up their best players. Let's see what they go, because it's going to be 3-0 if they don't do it now.
Right. And the thing is, it's also not Alka format, so you can do that. You don't have to play your best players right away. As long as you can win, for sure.
Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, wait. I thought Ray lost, didn't he? Yeah,
he
okay,
did.
good, thank you, yeah. That's what I had at first.
It says Team 2 won on my screen, that's all I read. So I was looking at the second player on the score screen, you know?
Right, yeah.
So I just counted it 1-2 in my head, not seeing it reversed. My bad, guys. Either way. As they said, geez, LOL, caster's slacking. So Henry taking the victory. It's hard to talk in admin at the same time, guys.
I agree.
Just saying.
Yeah.
No excuses. I've been doing it long enough. I should have this down. But when you're thinking about what you're gonna say next, plus talking to someone, plus listening to what someone else is saying, plus adminning, plus planning the next match, plus getting your stream ready. Yeah.
It was funny. Last week I actually had 2 South American teams, so like most of the people only spoke Spanish. So I was doing all that and trying to figure out what the Spanish words were. So that was a fun time. Yeah.
I can only imagine, sir. I can only imagine.
But
all right, so we are literally just waiting on LaG's first, our LaG's player, the winner there. Apparently, I'm talking down to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
I don't
I
think
want
you
to ask. Okay, because I'm not sure how I was doing it either. Ever play with a 3-year-old? I think that's what they're talking about. I don't know. Huh.
No, he's just helping me with the stream, guys. I'm not super experienced, and he was giving me a couple pointers, so not a big deal. Also, I didn't have the stream switched over, which is also very important when streaming. The stream should be showing us by now. Yeah, it is.
It is. They're talking about me saying it was to Who is Siren?
I have no idea.
Me either. Well, guys, we are just waiting for the players to announce their players' maps, all that good stuff while we get this hosted up. We're just kind of bantering back and forth, buying some time right now. So feel free to go to your loading screen.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Okay, apparently someone thinks I'm part of sMi.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Siren sent me a message. That's where I remember the name from. No. This is Shaft. The one and only. The only Shaft.
Dude, a gray mango would be disgusting.
What? What would?
I'm reading this guy's name. It's Gray Mangoes. I can only imagine what that does not taste like.
That would be probably pretty awful, I'm not gonna lie. At least his name is orange, though. It's like mango colored.
Indeed. Alright, so.
Do we have a player? Looks like we do. However... Oh, okay. I was gonna say he didn't have the tag on. They just put it on him, so...
Nice.
I'm also gonna double check the roster just to make sure they're on the roster. Or do you know the rule about that?
I'm sorry, what role?
Is it roster or is it they just have to have the tag? Because I'm not sure.
They have to have provided a roster beforehand.
Right.
Is it LaG or sMi you want to know about?
LaG.
Okay, give me 1 second.
LaG. Oh yeah, he's on there.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, I was scrolling through chat trying to find it. And basically the rule is that each team is allowed 3 substitutions for the whole league. So even if it wasn't on the roster, we could let them play and just report it.
Actually, isn't there a 2-week delay or something?
No.
Oh, okay, let me double check. Let me see this.
Shout out to Gray Mangoes and Gray Grapes. Gray Grapes are good. Muscadine. And in case anyone's wondering why I keep posting the results so far, it's simply so that I have it in 2 different places in case Shaft makes a boo-boo.
Here you go. See, during the season, a team can add another player to the roster with the following conditions. Team tag added to his name, and he will be available...
That's adding it to the roster, though.
Right. Yeah.
This is just a substitution rule that I was talking about.
Oh, really? What's that? What's the substitution rule?
Let me pull it up. I was mentioning it earlier. You can pull players that are not on your roster 3 times in a league. I'm pulling up the rule page now.
Yeah, me too. Some very interesting rules here, UASL.
Indeed. I think they're following a more German format. I know in Germany they were having a the style where you can reuse for your ace player. That's really where that came from. I think it adds an interesting dynamic to what's going on. Now I'm just trying to find that substitution rule for you.
All right, I'll go ahead and get the next map ready while you're doing that.
No problem. Have they chose it?
Yes, it's going to be Korhal Sky Island.
Okay, cool. And here is the rule. If while running the team match, one player of the original roster disconnected or isn't available, captain or coach can pick another one out of roster, but this can only be used 3 times on League. If there is a 4th time, team will be punished losing that team match.
There you go.
Indeed. And that is a little bit worded weird because it says pick another one out of roster, which makes it sound like it still has to be someone in the roster. But since our roster format isn't locked in, like player 1 plays match 1, it can only mean that they mean outside of the roster.
Right.
Would you agree?
Yeah. I think I've heard that before too from someone else, so definitely makes sense. And it's going to be for LaG Gaming, it was Death End. Alright, there we go. Gonna make sure I switch over this time, guys.
Is that a Siberia headset?
It's a Frost. Yeah, the
Frost.
Vita Frost, yeah. Very nice. Alright, switching over. Got black screen there for a second. And it should be good now. There we go.
Okie dokie.
Alright. We have a ready from Death End.
Alright, we've got the go. Okay, so guys, again, in case you're just tuning in, you should have been paying attention from the beginning, but damn it, we'll still tell you about it. So far, we have had on Derelict Watcher, LaG versus sMi. Began on Derelict Watcher. We started off with a 1-0 for sMi. We moved on to Red City, where it was tied 1-1 by LaG's Henry. Now we have a 1-1 tiebreaker. Of course, it's a best of 7, so, you know, it's not the end of the world. But we have a tiebreaker now going down on Korhal Sky Island. As far as tiebreakers go, this is not a map I would choose. You have 2 different maps in one, depending on spawning points. It will always be cross map. If it spawns in the bottom left, top right positions, you get a really weird, bizarre game. And that's exactly what we're going to be in store for, because it is on the bottom left, top right positions. Let's talk a little bit about this map before we start talking about yet another PvP and this House of Mirrors. Okay.
All I'm going to say about this map is I have it vetoed.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. I do not. I play Zerg, so I love playing against Terran here. I'm just saying.
Right.
Anyways, you're about to learn why. Okay, so taking a look at the main and natural, it doesn't matter which one you're looking at. You can hold these pretty well. There are 2 ramps. It makes it a little hard to, you know, cannon things up, this or that. But you can make do at the natural. However, look at that third. You got 2 options, and they both suck. So I fully expect a timing attack.
Right. Well, it is PvP. I mean, definitely lots of possibilities for the early game, and even later timing attacks, like you were saying. What specific timing attack would you like to see? Even if it's not like strategical, but it's just like your favorite timing attack to see.
Honestly, I don't like timing attacks. I like macro defensive play. But if I have to choose a wonky, bizarre timing attack that I'd love to see here, something incorporating Observers, Phoenix, and DT. Before you say wow, think about that composition.
Because you can pick off other Observers.
Indeed. And then what are they going to do about your Dark Templar? Take, you know, 6, 7, maybe even 8 bases while your opponent's locked on 2 because they can't go down their ramp because you have an army of Dark Templar waiting and there's nothing they can do. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
That sounds...
Anyways, let's go ahead and introduce these players, because here on the top right-hand side, we have, playing for the latest and greatest, again, tied 1-1, Epic Sauce, it's Death End. Here on the bottom left-hand side, playing for the Pretty Pink Protoss on Team sMi, it is Ooh, you dirty, dirty bird.
Yeah, a little bit interesting to see Dirty Bird coming out as he is actually the manager for SMI.
I told you we'd see a manager.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if his skill level is actually really high, but his ladder ranking currently is platinum, so
Oh
there
my god.
just throwing that out there.
Oh wow, I did not even notice that. So yeah, I think that's gonna play a huge scenario here. I do want to go ahead and let players know SMI had like 4 or 5 players not be able to make it tonight. So they are running on fumes here. They cannot let this get to a best of 7. So if I were lag management, and speaking of lag management, I think there was a little lag there.
Yes.
If I were lag management, I would try to make this last forever. Now we do have some nice scouting around here from Dirty Bird. Does it see that probe? It does not. So we're gonna have not only a stolen set of minerals here, but more than likely we're gonna have you know, some kind of proxy pylon. There are 3 friggin' gateways already down for Death End. He's finishing up Warp Gate. I would not be surprised to see, you know, 1 more gateway thrown up, 4 gates. GG.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much looks like it at this point as those proxy pylons have gone down. Some decent micro actually coming up from Dirty Bird. Might be able to get that Zealot. But, yeah, but traded Zealot for Zealot there. And these proxy pylons have gone down.
Indeed, sir. Well, we have 4 gateways. Well, 3 of them are on the way right now for Dirty Bird. So he's got a reinforcer's advantage. He has more gateways than his opponent, but he has a lower starting unit count. So again, every second that ticks by is 1 to his advantage. He is going to lose this mothership core. He's pulling probes against stalkers, kiting. GG. Sorry, Flat.
But wait, there's this around with probes. We'll be able to pick off 1 stalker, but I definitely agree with you. This is over. We'll have to see how long Dirty Bird does decide to stick in this. He has managed to pick off 2 stalkers with those probes, which is more entertaining than actually effective, really, at this point. But
Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to Sir Days, who is just reminding everybody that they have people missing.
Sorry.
Yeah, dude, that's unfortunate. Hopefully you guys will, you know, be able to put up some good games, though, at the very least.
We are seeing Dirty Bird continue to stick in this. I'm not 100% sure why, but definitely. I mean, he's gonna be able to pick off more stalkers with these probes. That's that's basically it at this point. There we go.
There we go, Big Bird saying GG.
Yeah, not too much to say about that game. I'm curious to see though if SMI does actually have another player, or if he was their last.
Well, this is their 3rd match, or that was their 3rd match. There's about to be match 4. So I would think with a roster as deep as SMI's, they'd be able to pull up, you know, at least 4 good players. So they should have 2 more floating around somewhere. And then in the ace match, you know, they'll be able to reuse a player. So they might be trying to position this in a management style and win not on the basis of each individual game, but rather on the strength of their lineup as a whole.
Right. I'm still kind of curious as to why they decided to send up Dirty Bird. Maybe just for fun, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's possible, but they might just not have anyone else.
Yeah. So yeah, SMI did lose that. So LaG will have to pick their player first, and then SMI will have to choose a map and a player.
Alrighty, so I'm just watching the probes around here on the instant replay cam. I'm not sure what was going on with the lag, but hopefully we got that cleared up.
Oh.
So what's your favorite matchup?
Mine is actually PvZ, despite being a Terran player.
That's awesome. That's my favorite matchup as well. What makes you like it?
I just think it's the matchup with the most choices and the most interesting, like, tech paths. Really.
Okay. Okay. I just like mutalisks.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I like the relationship between, like, you know, Swarm Host speed